Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Falai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we tried to take care of a couple bounties. Succeeded at one of them, found the second is a little too tough for us right now, and the third wasn't a bounty, we just tried to kill a dragon. And failed. Horribly. It did not go well at all. A lot of minions showed up, and the dragon is very powerful. I don't think we'll be able to deal with it anytime soon. Not for a little while. Anyway, with nothing else to do here, time for us to see if we can get into the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Let's see. Azura has arrived, offering to sell you Rime Cutter for 600 coppers. Rime Cutter. A unique one-handed battle axe. It's something. We'll buy it. It's cheap. Alright, we've made it here. A dwarf, clothed in but a few scraps of fur, puffs up his bared chest with every drag from his pipe. Come a long way to get some air, have you? What are you doing here? Enjoying the fine weather. Just a bit longer. He smiles, letting a cloud of smoke and frosted breath escape through his teeth. My mistress had business with the Ondrites. We'll be off, soon as she's done at the Abbey. Meantime, I was told to stay put. They don't want any outsiders meandering about. She's already put some kind of hex on me. Says I won't even remember any of this. Well, the copper's worth it. She says I'll wake up at home with a full coin purse. Opposite of most of my mornings, so that had a certain appeal. Tell me about your mistress. Which one? He lets out a chuckle and slaps his chest. A reddening print blooms on his skin. Wish she were the fun kind. She's a gift bearer. Paid me well to guard her on the journey, though. I'm looking to get inside. Are you now? He pulls the pipe away from his clenched teeth and points its long stem to the path ahead. Far as I know, straight this way. Middle path on the right with the ruined arch. If they let you in, of course. Ondrites are none too friendly, but to their own. My mistress went through the archway. Spoke to some guards there, then headed on. He bites down on his pipe with a sour expression. They got eyes on the other paths. Cast me dirty looks from afar when they pass this way. He grunts. As if I'd stand here in plain view if I had some grand design of sneaking into their blazing church. And what's an abbey got that's worth hiding anyway? Monks? Ugh. He grunts again and shakes his head and mutters something about if he were younger. Do you know of other ways into the abbey? No, but it's an abbey, not a fortress. You can bet it's got holes like any fat old monster. Supply passages, escape routes. He shrugs as if it were a matter of course. I'd be lying if I said I'd never explored one uninvited when I was too young to know better. Helped myself to its relics. Let's just say, if a certain war goddess has her way, I'll be living my next life as a dungroll bug. Why are you helping me? You got a look about you. You look like you need it. And maybe there's something I don't like about this place. Like it's hiding something. My younger days, it'd be me going in there. Farewell, then. Doubt we'll meet again. Any luck, my mistress will return soon. Hope you find what you're looking for. Alright, we'll try knocking on the front door. Undisturbed by the high winds above, a mist hides the depths of this chasm.
Hard to imagine a whole sect living out here. But I guess that's the point.
I don't know if there's anyone on the other paths, but... So if that's the main entrance... Hold! Who's there? Kyoto is waiting for me. I am the Tidebringer. The guard's eyes narrow. How can I be sure? We are in the final days of the Mechwind's Tide, a time of transition for our church. My presence is no accident. The guard relaxes and appears relieved. Forgive my caution. We were told to expect you. The High Abbot awaits you inside. Oh, of course. but I am going to try and see if I can explore elsewhere. Protruding from the side of the cliff, what appears to be a massive hip bone lies encrusted in a prison of rocks and ice. A hip bone? Undisturbed by the high winds above, a mist hides the depths of this chasm. Kyoto knew Saman was upon us.
The Tidebringer. It's been so long.
My soul is ready, brother.
Giant skeleton's rib cage.
Saw they let you through. You must be our visitor.
Familiar about
The High
this
Abbot
place.
awaits you inside. Straight
It
back.
reeks of divine meddling.
Oh, this is interesting.
I can do that. That's
But yes, as I said, we are going to explore Grimoire of the Tides. Might be something interesting in there. We get Ningalth's Shadow Flame. A curious variant of the ever-popular Fireball, causes freeze damage and paralyzes. Ooh. And Wall of Draining. Enemies passing through or standing in this wall will lose time from any of their timed beneficial status effects. And the wizard gains time to beneficial status effects for what he takes. Nice. Halls of Presence, Halls of Presence. Ice is built upon every space between the bones of the skeletal hand, forming a slippery incline into the jagged cliffs below. Well, this is interesting. This is a giant skeleton. There's a rib cage, there's a hand, there's a hip bone. Wow. The hell is this? What was so big? This door is sealed shut. Okay, fair enough. This giant wrist bone ends without providing any clues as to the location of its missing hand. Another entrance to the Halls of Presence. This seems interesting. A mural is rendered on the face of the rock wall. 4 panels seem to be arranged as a story of some kind. Inspect the mural. First panel, Anthu, the end. The next panel, Saman, the flood. Disaman, the ebb. Dianthu, the beginning. So let's see. The end, an entire city is burning and destroyed. Then, a massive wave comes in and washes it away. The wave retreats, leaving nothing there, and a city is rebuilt. Okay, I can see the logic behind that. That makes sense. Okay, got some things there.
a simple test. That's settled.
Well, let's keep exploring, see what we can find.
You look pale, sister. Find someone to take your place. I'll stand watch.
I'd hoped I was over this illness, but clearly not. I shall take your advice.
Okay, keep exploring. Another entrance. The Halls of Silence. The Passages of Andra. Passages of Andra, that's that. Halls of Presence and Halls of Silence. That's what we have here. Interesting. A coppery sheen glistens under the layers of ice that cling around this giant femur with the colors of a rainbow. Fine mace. Girdle of Mortal Protection. Decreased critical hit damage. Interesting. Undisturbed by the high winds above, a mist hides the depths of this chasm.
Even our visitor is to be turned away, he said.
What interest would our quarters hold?
Our quarters aren't the worry. It's our brothers and sisters below.
Interesting. Okay, we've taken a look down those paths. Now we've just got the path down here. So, some giant creature, or figure, or being, was killed down here. I've never seen anything this big in the game so far, so who knows what it could be.
I should not have peered over the edge. I could see no bottom.
Ha! Perhaps if you pray, the lady will allow you to forget.
Let's see. You stand at the precipice of a fissure that time has worn into the mountain upon which the abbey stands. Whistling winds call out from the depths below the crevasse, mournful wails hinting at the great descent from the edge into the dark and lonely spaces below. Encased in centuries of rime, a gargantuan skeletal hand hangs awkwardly above the gap. Its fingers are splayed in a pained pose, ice preserving the circumstances of the victim's death long after the flesh rotted away. With only the ominous moaning of the crevasse to disturb your thinking, you consider your options. Inspect the area. Considering the span of the gap and the position of the skeletal hand, you believe a well-placed grappling hook would allow you to reach the other side. Though positioning the hook may be tricky, the winds are not so strong that they would endanger attempts to cross. With only the ominous moaning of the crevasse to disturb your thinking, you consider your options. We'll leave for now. In fact, I think I see it would basically be another way over there. As if thrown into the chasm, skeletal remains rest precariously on the ledges of this cliff as far as you can see. You know what? I do kind of want to use it, because I have a feeling it goes over to somewhere we haven't been. The middle finger is a large target, but it sits in the midst of buffeting winds that threaten to blow the rope and grapple off course. Whoever casts the grappling hook will need nimble fingers to ensure a good throw. As you ponder the difficulty of the throw, the wind momentarily abates, becoming little more than eerie murmurs whispering far below you. I'll cast it. You time the throw perfectly between chaotic gusts whipping up from the crevasse. The grappling hook cuts an odd path through the expanse of violent air, the attached rope trailing behind in a bizarre spiral. Despite its odd course, the grapple eventually sails over the middle finger, its rope winding securely around the frozen bone. You give it 2 tugs and are confident it won't budge. Swing across. You take a firm hold on the rope and swing across the crevasse. Despite high winds and an unsettling creaking from the enormous ice-encrusted finger, you safely reach the other side. You stand at the edge of a crevasse you traverse with the help of a grappling hook and a conveniently located giant skeletal hand. And this leads into the Halls of Silence. Okay. We can head back. Okay. So we've explored all the options we have out here. But we're doing the, oh no, I am meant to be here kind of thing. So let's see. We have a rib cage here, an arm here, a leg here, the hip bone here, another arm and a hand here. This is strange. Well, let me save before we go in. Alright, in we go. Let's see what we find inside the Temple of Ondra. Pretty sure we're going to need to speak to the person inside. And then we'll probably be doing exploring in the next episode, depending on how long this all takes. Find out how to reach the reliquary. The craftsmanship that gave form to the statue appears too skilled and refined to come from mere mortal hands.
You are a guest, I take it? You will find the abbot past the Chamber of the Fallen Moon, behind me.
Of course. And I apologize for the sounds in the background. Well, here's the Chamber of the Fallen
Smells
Moon.
fresh. That can't be the salt well.
A thin film of iridescent dust floats on the calm surface of the waters, obscuring its depths. The gift-bearer holds in her hand a gem the size of a fist. She draws a curved line in the air over it, then tosses it into the water. As the gem hits the water, it disappears from sight, as though it had dissolved. What happened to that gem? What gem? The gem you tossed into the pool. I remember no gem. You tossed it in. How could you have forgotten? This pool is blessed by Ondra, Tidebringer. I don't understand. The gift bearer smiles placidly. All that belongs to Andra is forgotten, and all things forgotten belong to Andra. She stares into the pool, entranced. Greetings. The gift bearer ignores you.
He seemed preoccupied.
I expect I would be too in his position.
A massive crystal, its jagged edges iridescent with an unearthly glow, pierces through the dome. Mosaics and tiles have been carefully arranged out around the strange rock. I feel like we should actually explore before we speak to him, because we might find information we will need. Maybe, anyway. Abbey of the Fallen Moon, and that leads to the Reliquary. Which is where we're going to eventually have to go, I guess.
Smells like an ocean breeze. We've got to be close.
They call out sometimes. Even the guards below think it's strange.
For Andra, most like. They surely long for her embrace.
Forgive me, Tidebringer, but it is not in my power to allow you to pass. You will need the High Abbot's consent. That leads to the Halls of Silence. Okay, so we can't go in there. Probably can't go into any of the closed or locked doors until we get permission from the High Abbot. Who will speak too soon, I imagine. So I'm not going to bother picking any locks to get through any doors yet. Not yet. Okay, what about down this side? Okay, another thing we can loot there.
Even with your labors, your presence of mind never falters. I don't know how you do it.
Perhaps your thoughts would swim deeper if your tongue didn't come out for air so often, dear brother.
Huh, that's an interesting way to say you talk too much. Okay, this door is open. The Crested
I
Hall.
can do that. That's settled.
Ah, speed and spell defense bonus.
I never knew. Did you hide in the White March after that?
As far away as I could. The Dominels didn't care I was a gift bearer. Evidence is evidence.
Interesting. That unlocks the Andrite Quarters key. That goes into the central area. Okay, we have the key that'll go into the Andrite's quarters. Let's keep looking around out here.
The High Abbot imparted to me that I wasn't alone, that he has nightmares sometimes as well.
Truly?
Oh, it surprised me to hear it. He has such a peaceful manner.
Despite the warmth of the nearby fires, a thin layer of frost clings to this store of supplies. That also leads to the Halls of Silence.
See
something
now
hidden.
what the flame has shown us?
Not that it's really much of note. Ah, a trap. We can disarm that. Oh, the key actually doesn't really do much. It's just another way through. Okay, that appears to be everything there, so let's head in here and see what he has to say. Where the other Andrites in the Abbey are clad in drab, functional garments, This Almawa seems dressed for an occasion. His robe his robe is bright and glossy. His neck and arms are bedecked with jewelry. The symbols of his goddess are crowded into every available space.
Good. The Conclave has elected a Tidebringer after all. I had begun to worry.
He looks back up, noticing your company, and nods.
And they took my advice in providing you an escort. Very good. I am sorry I could not make your journey easier. I am Kauto, the High Abbot.
He bows. I came as soon as I could.
And just in time. The May Queen's tide is nearly past its peak. Much longer, and we'd have had to wait another year. The rules of the Rising are quite clear on that, unfortunately. When you are ready, we will begin with the recitation.
How are you so certain I am the Tidebringer?
If you were not, you would be the first person to stumble across this place in all my years here. Andra protects us in this place. The faithful who stand guard here do it in her honor, not because we are vulnerable.
He looks at you sidelong.
You are our Tidebringer, aren't you?
Of course. Why else would I have come to this place?
Andra, forgive me for saying so, but the reasons are difficult to fathom. The land here can be cruel indeed.
How did you become the High Abbot?
I was elected by the Conclave, as you were. But you already knew that much. It was unexpected. There were others more accomplished. I was merely a scholar. But they each had their faiths called into question. And no one could find cause to doubt mine.
He smiles proudly, exposing for the first time yellowed, worn teeth. He seems conscious of your gaze and quickly hides them again.
It was such an honor to become one of Andra's most trusted servants. It was hardly a choice at all.
The Conclave mentioned something about a reliquary.
Yes, of course. I would not pass my station to you without passing that knowledge as well. It is the Abbey's most sacred chamber. When the Rising is complete, I will take you there myself. In fact, the ritual demands it.
About the recitation.
You seem nervous. The Conclave chose you for a reason. For a devout follower of Andra, the answers will flow naturally to you. I remember my own Rising. The Conclave sent me on the same exhausting journey. When it came time for the recitation, I could not remember a word. But it all came back in time. Our goddess smiles upon the forgetful.
He taps a large golden ring with a wave insignia as though it were proof.
Our library is open to you, as are the grounds outside. There is a beautiful mural out there that you should see, if you haven't yet. And you may, of course, speak with the gift bearers here, if it helps your recollection. Take your time, and examine these things before your recitation.
What if I fail?
Do not be afraid to fail. A lapse here or there is to be expected. But do take care in your work. Even my patience has limits.
Farewell, then. So we have permission for the library, eh? That must be down here. Perhaps he is given permission to allow it. Oh, good, we got this. We now have Amaya's Codex. Grants Calling the World's Maw. Twin Stones. Prayer Against Fear, Pillar of Faith, Sicken and Essential Phantasm. Okay. It's just an item, I guess. You may enter, Tidebringer. Thank you.
Now this I haven't seen before.
It's here. The salt well.
In the room is a pool. It's small, but deep enough that you can't see the bottom. The glassy surface almost looks frozen. So does Maneha. She stands rooted in place, staring at it.
You know, I thought it'd be bigger.
Looks deep, anyway.
Gift bearers say the heaviest regrets and greatest sorrows get left here. So it better be.
So what are you waiting for?
You know how when you've been thinking about something so long, you're worried that when you finally get it, it won't be what you expected?
She tugs at one of her bracelets.
I mean, for all we know, that thing's just filled with leeches.
You're stalling.
Don't remind me.
Let's see. What if your memory of the massacre has prevented you from committing a similar crime?
That was my soul, but it wasn't me. I was a different person, shaped by a different past. I don't think I could do anything so awful now.
And this memory... Her hands are clenched in front of her, and her brow is furrowed in determination. Despite it all, she sounds like she's asking a question. And this memory has shaped you and taught you restraint. Without it, you might choose differently.
I was afraid you'd say something like that.
She stares at the well for several seconds.
My parents always said that anything that seems too good to be true probably is. You spend so much time searching for a way to fix what's broken. You don't see that the fixing would only break something else.
She kicks a pebble into the pool. It falls in without so much as a ripple.
Only one thing left to do.
She looks back at you. And what's that? Maneha pulls a rolled cloth bundle out of her pack. You recall seeing it earlier. She snaps the leather cords that bind it and unfolds it to reveal a wine bottle.
Took this from the Marchezo cellar the night I was awakened. One of the finest vintages there. Been saving it to celebrate my new start. I think it's time to open it.
She jams a knife into the cork and twists it out with a squeaking pop. A lush, jammy aroma wafts from the bottle. She holds it under her nose and breathes deeply. She puts the bottle to her lips and tilts it back. After a long, slow drink, she smacks her lips.
A few years past its peak. Good thing we're enjoying it now.
She swirls the wine in the bottle before holding it out to you. Take a drink.
The best burdens are the ones you share.
Maneha passes you the bottle. An unpleasant sharpness has crept into the wine, but it's an enjoyable draught all the same. Together, you finish the bottle.
Time to make some good memories.
She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. Okay. So that was what she was doing, and she gained a new thing. Unburdened memories, I think it was? No, satisfied mind. +2 resolve. Maneha has learned to live with the memory that has troubled her. In this decision, she's found new resolve. Nice. Hey, he completed it. Zawa returns to Stronghold with a load of experience and average reputation with Deerford Village. Spoils await in the Great Hall treasury chest. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Like a living prison, thick arms of coral have grown around an assortment of old weathered relics.
I can do that. That's settled.
And St. Wiggelt's Cudgel. Okay. So that was in there. Is this the library then? This door that's closed? Will it open for us now? Ah! Ah, here's the library.
And the
This
fire
is the
shows
record.
me something
Let's see. A couple scrolls. Thought I saw
Yes.
There it is.
See that it is cast away with the others.
Let's see. Monsters, Nasitak poetry, the sea and her love. The sea beheld her love shining bright from on high. She bade him come down from his palace in the sky. Her love could not be swayed, so she took a piece into her heart, and all who saw her grief that day sleep in her bosom still. Abaddon's hands, selected correspondences, the enigmatic god of cold. The Orochian calendar, the moons of Aora, tides and moons, and natural historian's account. And the Gift-Bringer's Pilgrimage. A gift-bringer of Andra is traveling along the road when she meets a man in tears holding a scrap of parchment. "Why do you weep?" asks the gift-bearer. "I hold here a letter from my wife. I tried to be a good husband, but the letter says that I was not, and that she has gone to seek the company of a better man. Now this is all that remains of her." "Give the letter to me, then," says the gift-bearer, "for once you have forgotten the letter, your wife can cause you no further pain." The man gives her the letter and finds his tears have dried up. He thanks the gift-bearer and leaves at peace. The gift-bearer continues on, contemplating the man's story, but does not get far before she encounters an old woman in tears holding a string of beads. "Why do you weep?" asks the gift-bearer. "I hold here a string of beads that counted the years of my daughter's life. Sickness took her while she was still a child, and she was denied the joys of a full life, and I the joys of a mother. This is all that remains of her." "Give the beads to me, then," says the gift-bearer, "for once you have forgotten the beads, your daughter can truly rest." The old woman gives her the beads and finds her grief no longer gnaws at her soul. She thanks the gift-bearer and leaves at peace. Thinking on the woman's pain, the gift-bearer follows the road until she reaches the sea. In her hands she carries the letter and the beads. They are light in her hands, but heavy upon her heart, and she is crying. She prays to Andra to allow the objects to be forgotten and casts them into the water. And yet, long after they have sunk beneath the waves, the gift-bearer finds herself still weeping. Merciful Andra, pleads the gift-bearer, in your service I have helped people forget their troubles. Yet though I pass them on to you, I feel them still as though they were mine. How can this be? The gift-bearer listens to the wisdom of the crashing waves until she understands. To feel the troubles of others in your soul is a burden itself. However, she has no token to give to Andra to bear it away, for the troubles are not hers to forget. I give myself to you, then, says the gift-bearer, for once I am in your care, no memory may haunt me. And with that, the tide comes forth and embraces the gift-bearer, and when it ebbs, she is gone. Okay. So we've got the mural. All things forgotten belong to Andra. All things that belong to Andra are forgotten. Tells of burdens of a gift-bearer, being a gift-bearer. Okay. Let's let the episode go a few minutes longer as we complete the recitation here. Then we'll find out what we have to do. Well, yeah. I'm at the end of a stream, so I'm probably going to forget. Let's get this done.
Are you prepared now for the recitation?
Let me save first. All right, then. We can begin the recitation.
Very good. We shall commence the rising. First is Anthu. Last is Dianthu. For the tide comes at the end and leaves at the beginning. I am Disaman the ebb. Who comes this way?
I am Saman, the flood.
Blessed be Saman, that washes over the shore and brings the end. Blessed be Disaman, that returns to the sea and leaves behind the beginning. A gift-bearer comes to Disaman and asks him to bear his burdens away. What token do you offer, gift-bearer?
I give myself, for a gift-bearer has no other tokens to offer.
The token is received in Andra's name. Tell me of your burdens.
I have none, for all that belongs to Andra is forgotten.
In Andra's embrace, our burdens are lifted.
Kyoto appears pleased. He nods. Maneha sighs with relief.
The Tidebringer shows herself worthy of her charge. Your purpose here, Tidebringer, is to perform the ceremony of the rising. It is the transition of one phase of service to the next. On the level beneath us in the halls of silence, our low-tide brothers and sisters have lived for many years, sealed by their own will. It is time for them to be relieved of service, and for the high-tide brothers and sisters here to take their place. In the halls below, you will find a relic, Andra's witness, and a spurgulum for dispensing holy water, but also something more. It is set into a device it operates atop a flight of steps. The device will flood the halls of silence. This is the rising.
Won't the people down there drown?
It is the will of Andra. Every monk assigned to the abbey understands and accepts this.
He smooths back his thick stalks of hair with one hand. A gray strand sticks to his palm. He frowns at it, then looks up and continues.
The monks here have all served as gift-bearers. We bear away people's most painful memories, and always a part of them remains with us.
He's right about that much.
In the halls of silence, memory itself fragments until it is no more. The halls are a reprieve from a gift-bearer's burden. In the end, the halls take all memory, but the process takes a toll, as you might imagine. After many years, when the process is complete, the rising is performed, to give final peace to those who dwell there. This is your charge.
Dying immediately seems preferable to losing all memory in the halls of silence, only to drown later.
It goes beyond that. It is about duty as well. The Abbey is one of Andra's most guarded secrets. Death is no guarantee our knowledge will fade safely. It is necessary that the memories of this place be washed away. We do this in Andra's service.
The Amawa notices an age spot on his arm as he gestures. He licks a finger and rubs at it like a smudge. What do I do when the rising is complete?
The high tide is to replace the low, and stand vigil in the halls of silence until the next rising. When you have completed the rising, bring Andra's witness to me here. I will show you the last of what you need to know.
Once I have Andra's witness, what do I do with it?
The device it operates is a simple valve mechanism. It will be clear to you when you see it.
I will return once the rising is complete.
To reach your destination, you will need to know the sign of the tide, which is kept only by the High Abbot. It's said that it is the first knowledge lost when the abbot joins the low tide in the halls of silence. Watch carefully.
Kyoto contorts the fingers of his right hand into a particular curl shape. Then, with his left hand, he traces an arc from center to end simultaneously with his index and little fingers.
I trust you will perform your duty, Tidebringer.
Alright, we will take care of that. Concerning as it is. But that'll be in the next episode, because this one's gone on long enough. Next episode, we perform the rising and see what we have to do down there. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Falai. That is Laniara, Maneha, Kana, Durance, Aloth, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.